There you go.
And we're good. Okay. This is the Rogers Lake Authority meeting on January 13th, 2021. I'm calling the meeting to order at 7:42. First thing on the agenda is to read the minutes from November 11th, 2020. Nicole, you want to?
Yep. Okay. Rogers 30 at 7:30 p.m. on November 11th, 2020. The following members were present: Richard, 7 minutes were recorded. At 11. To accept the minutes from October was made by Janelle. Mark second. Motion passed unanimously. Report in Lake Patrol or in the weeds category. Under budget, the board reviewed the budget line items. The town of Lyme does not carry over the budgeted year. Board 2020 budget. It needs to be turned in by December 15th of 2020. But the board will have until March to make expecting 0% increase. Carryover might not be sufficient for weed treatment, handling of weeds, and also then clarify carryover. Old business, Senate confirmed the scheduled lake survey. Bob spoke with the Deep Water Monitoring Unit in Hartford and gave an update on water quality grants available. Mark gave an update on the dam operation and maintenance manual draft. The board reviewed the draft and made corrections and comments. Motion to approve the document with the changes was made by Janelle. Tony second. Motion passed unanimously. Mark sent an updated copy of the board will present the manual to the first selectman. Coordinates still need to be collected to get quotes for weed pull. New business. Dennis will be creating an annual report and ask for an update on the fishing line receptacles. And Janelle is waiting for labels, which are required by DEEP to hang the receptacles. Mark made a motion to not have a RLA meeting in December. Tony second. Motion to adjourn made by Janelle. Dick second. And passed with unanimous vote. 4.
Okay, we got poor audio. I don't know why.
Hear a lot of stuff.
I've been trying to mute people, but it doesn't seem to help.
I got visual now.
Okay, that's good. All right, everybody got a copy of the minutes? Oh, I guess Manisha, you didn't see the minutes, but
Manisha, but that's okay.
Okay.
No worries. No, I don't have it, but that's okay. Oh, no, I did get it. I think I did get it.
Oh, okay.
My email. Yep.
Okay, any comments, corrections?
Can we accept them as read?
Okay, can we get a second?
I second it. No,
Okay. Dick, were you talking? Oop, we lost him.
He was making a motion to accept.
Okay.
He might have like a delay.
Okay.
He's got poor bandwidth.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. You keep going and coming, Dick. We lose you and then you come back. maybe you better call in, Dick. Your internet connection isn't looking good.
Okay, because I can hear you people, no problem.
Oh, can
You
you?
can't
Oh,
hear
okay,
me?
very good. Yeah, sometimes. Okay. We approved the minutes. Next thing on the agenda was the budget. And so our remaining budget, we have 66.8% of our budget remaining. We really haven't had any expenditures the last month, because we really haven't been, there's been no patrol or anything else. So it's pretty much like it was in November.
Dennis, it looks like, am I on mute? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. It looks like we got a credit for $150.
As long as money's coming in, I don't
It's
ask.
okay. Fair enough. Okay.
I don't know what that's about.
All right. I mean, it's no big deal. I was just curious.
No, I do not know. But anyway, as far as budget wise, we're in very good shape. But we'll keep referring back to this as we go through our meeting because we're going to be looking at expenditures and whatnot. So, okay. Dick, did you ever find the contact information for that deep patrol officer that was with you?
Yes, his name is Dakota Fliss. I can give you his phone if you want, phone number.
Can you spell his last name?
F-L-I-S, Fliss.
F-I-L-S.
Right. And an unusual first name is Dakota.
Yeah, okay. And his number?
860-841-0588. I talked just the other day. He's going to be on this year. This is going to be his area again and everything. So he says we can get in touch with me and I'll be glad to ride with you.
That is fabulous. Because, even into November, we had the jet skier out. He comes down and taunts me.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But that's good that we have somebody ready to come out and a name. So, and it's good that he's still around.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, but you have been in touch with him, and he's still,
And I talked to him the other day. I finally got a hold of him. I had trouble for a while. I was leaving messages, and then he finally did get back to me. He says he was having trouble with his mail and stuff, but he did get back to me. And we talked for a few minutes. And like I say, he's going to be the one down this area this year, and he'd be more than willing to work with us.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
Yep.
Do you think he's out of the old Lyme deep office? Or?
Well, he's kind of spread thin. He covers all the way from the Rhode Island border, I think, down to New Haven. This all, southeast corner is his jurisdiction.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's pretty busy.
Okay. Well, it's good to have a name and a number.
Yep.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda was the Rogers Lake Dam operation and whatnot. Mark, you want to talk about that?
Sure. We've submitted it for review with the town of Old Lyme, and we had Dennis and I had a conference or a Zoom meeting actually with Nicole, the second select person. I can't
Mary
remember
Jo.
her last name.
Mary Jo.
Mary Jo. And she appreciated our efforts, all of ours, and had some questions on applications and how we put this all together. And I believe she brought it up in the last selectmen's meeting. And the feedback we got from her, although I haven't seen it in the meeting minutes yet, is that the town feels they should probably vest control of the dam, the sluiceway, with the authority. And so that's a good result. The one other element that Dennis and I brought up is that there is, in conjunction with the operating and maintenance document, there's an emergency plan for, if there's a problem with the dam that is actually the town's responsibility. That document has been drafted by an outside consultant. The consultant had some questions for the town to get back to him on, and right now it's sort of stuck there. So we're trying to work with the town to get that document moved forward. Ultimately, what we'd like to do is have the operating and maintenance document and the emergency plan sort of agreed to by the selectmen at the same time. So that's sort of where we are as the next step.
Okay, I was looking for the selectmen's minutes, but the only thing that was up there was the actual recording. And Mary Jo did a good job of presenting the RLA and what they did. And they have put the review of our document on their meeting for next week. So it's on their docket to talk about it. And they've also talked about, yes, the flood control thing needs to be part of it, but they've all agreed that they're going to read Mary Jo was the only one that had read it, our document, but it's on the agenda officially that they have to read it and they're going to discuss it. But it was very clear from Tim Griswold that responsibility for the dam operation was going to be with the Rogers Lake Authority. So, they basically said, keep doing what you're doing. There had been a question when Mark and I were on about, did we need to be recording data? And Tim Griswold said, no, this is a volunteer thing to be doing this, and there's no reason to be recording data that, yes, you did check the weather forecast or whatever.
So Dennis and Mark, if the decision is that the RLA is responsible for the dam operation, what about the key that Dave Evers has?
Well, Nicole or Mary Jo asked us about that, and we indicated that Dave Evers had made copies for Mark and I, and that in order to test out our the document that we created,
Yep.
we needed to exercise it. So they know that we also have keys. And they've also indicated that Public Works has the key, and if, that they can also do, the selectmen wanted to feel that they had more than one person or whatever that control the dam.
So is there any coordination between you, Mark, and Dave and Public Works?
No.
Should there be?
Their feeling is they're assigning us to be the RLA to be controlling it because we're on the lake and we know what's going on. Public Works doesn't, and Public Works is just a backup if everything goes to hell.
Okay, and what about if Deep comes in and does something? Is there any kind of process to notify you or Mark about that?
No, but Mark and I have email and phone number for the deep person,
Okay,
and he's a new guy, and he wants to work with us, and
oh,
he
that's
kinda
good.
meets us all the time, and so that'll just be a loose relationship. And we know how to get a hold of him, and he says he lives locally.
Oh, okay,
It's that he goes by our dam every day.
okay, all right, thank you.
As a matter of practice, he does contact Dennis if he's going to be around or if there's some issue that he wants to do with the fish ladder and things like that. So
Okay,
we're in communication. It's just not a formalized. It's not. It's
no
not a
formal process.
formalized- It's not a formal process.
Okay,
So that being said, Dick, would you like to take over what you used to do with the dam?
Yeah, I would think about that because you're gonna have to find somebody else to do the boat this year. Yeah, I could probably do that.
Okay. That procedure, you did an excellent job the way you were doing it before. The procedure we put in place was really just so that if we all pass on and go away, the next generation will have some document and some way of trying to out how to keep doing it. Once you get the seat of the pants, it's easy to figure out, but getting that background. Okay. So right now we've got the sluiceway open 6 inches. The lake level has been staying constant for the last, 5 days.
Oh, yeah. Talking more rain coming too.
I see we got about over an inch coming. But I think from now on, we're going to let you right now. We'll let you take care of it.
Pardon?
Dick, do you have what you need to do that? Is there anything that you need that you don't have to do that?
No, I just got to read up on the procedure because I used to do it all from just what I did.
You know how to read this lake like no one's business. You are awesome at it. Okay, something's going to happen here. We got to go do it.
Right.
I just didn't know if there was anything that you needed in order to do that.
No, I'll just have to familiarize myself again with the readings down there and the way it is. And that's not a problem.
Okay. And I don't know. I'll drop off the latest version of that document for whatever reason.
Right.
The next thing that'll happen will be when Deep opens up the fish ladder.
Oh, yeah.
And that will be anytime from March on.
Yeah, usually late March, yeah.
So.
All right.
Dick, do you do you text
Yes,
on your phone?
I can. I finally learned.
Okay. Dennis has been telling me when he opens and closes the sluice gate, because
Okay.
I'm collecting data to sort of verify that all the flows that we have and all the numbers we've been using.
Yeah.
So when you sort of change the position of the sluice gate, if you could send me a text and tell me that you opened it up to 4 or a foot or
Yep.
whatever.
Okay.
That way I can put it into the spreadsheet I've got.
All right, that's fine.
Thanks.
Okay, and I'm hands off. I'm out of the picture now. Well,
Nicely done, Dennis.
so, okay. Any other Questions in that area? Okay. The next thing is the invasive weed pulling update. I sent everybody the request for proposal that I sent out. So SWCA, in all the emails I sent out, one of them had in it quotes for, and when I queried, and that, since we're talking about it, their quote was for $5,825. They did not quote to my request for quote, which include dealing with the Phragmites. And when I questioned them on that number, they said, oh, that number is only to pull fanwort, not the milfoil and the curved pondweed. The pondweed is the one that's really starting to be more prevalent. So I've asked SWCA to requote it. I sent a quote to the Pond and Lake Connection, who did our herbicide treatment the last time. They got back to me and they want to quote it. And I get a lot of the emails and whatnot from Candlewood Lake Authority. And D&C underwater maintenance there does a lot of work for them. And they got back to me and they'd like to quote it. If anybody has anybody else that we'd like to have quoted, let me know. Ask them to get back to me March 1st. So, okay. Any other questions? No?
Nope.
Okay. The next thing I had on my agenda that's not there is, Janelle, the labels for your fishing line recycles.
Yep.
You were going to try to make a copy or something?
I was going to take your suggestion to make a copy and do some tape and see if that works. I haven't done it yet. But what I'll do is I can work on it this weekend. I have a holiday weekend this weekend. And I can take a picture and send it to you and you could tell me what you think.
Yeah. The question on mounting. Do you have a post or anything to mount that on?
No, they're going to be on. So the one at the boat launch is going to go on the back of the brown sign as you're looping around. It goes on the back of that brown sign. That's what DEP approved. Okay. And then the one down at Haynes Park, actually, they're supposed to install it, but it would go on. There's a board, there's 2 posts and a board, and there's a mailbox nearby. It would go on that one of the posts of the board. That's where it's supposed to go.
Okay. We'll see how they're redoing that.
Right, they're redoing it. So I have the brackets. So I was just going to connect with the person from the town and hand it off to them. And if they needed assistance installing it, I could help them.
Okay. The other I have is we can get signposts from Public Works. And, you know, those for putting a stop sign on and whatnot, pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
So if it looks like there was any issue, I can go get a signpost and we can pound it into.
Right. I know Deep was pretty specific about where it needed to go at the boat launch. But if we need a post for Haynes Park, then I can either let you know, or I'm sure they would know where they are and they could just go grab it.
Yep.
Because there's 2 brackets. One under where it turns, you put one there, and then you put one at the bottom just before the exit.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think we should look to like April, install those, I guess fishing season starts like April.
It does. It starts in April. There were some folks out on the lake just last week in the nice weather. So the label that Deep gave me, I was going to use that one for the boat launch one. Rob and I can install that when it's pretty decent out. So I would say that can be installed by March 1st.
Okay.
And then the one down at Haynes Park, I just have to reach out to the town. I have the guy's name. I just have to reach out to him.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Very good. Okay. Anyway, Bob Recor had to give his resignation to the group. And I'd just like it to go on record that, I don't know how many decades, maybe Dick, you know how long he's been on, but he's been on the RLA for a long time.
I can't really remember right now, tell you the truth.
It's got to be decades now that he's been on.
No, I'm the only one who's been on decades.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't know on him. I don't know, 7, 8 years maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we certainly appreciate all his efforts and on the RLA's behalf. And but everybody's got to say, I've had enough. And your personal stuff comes first.
That's going on his plate personally.
Yeah. So, okay. In another one of my many emails, I sent out the water quality report that I just got on Monday. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but I did put a little summary on the email that came out. But anybody have any comments or questions? I mean, basically, they're indicating we're in good shape.
That's fine. That's good.
Okay. So while we're talking about water quality, we got as part of that quote package that we got, they quoted water quality sampling for next year, this coming summer, $11,650. Last year, it was $7,525. So I queried them, why is it costing $4,125 more this year than it did last year? And the response was that the lab fees have gone up astronomically.
Huh.
We got rid of AER that used to do our water sampling. They were up around 12,500, if I remember correctly. They were sampling 6 times a year. This is only sampling 3 times a year. So what do we...
Is there anybody that, if we talk to Ledge Light, that they could recommend or something that does this type of work too?
It's a good thought.
That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe they might know somebody else that would do this type of work. And hopefully it'd be cheaper, but I don't know. I know I just got my insurance renewals and they went way up. Don't get old. They told me it's because of my damn age. I'm in the high risk category now.
Yeah,
I said, damn.
aren't we all? Yeah.
Dick, for your auto?
Huh?
For auto?
Yeah, auto and house. Yep.
Your home shouldn't have anything to do with it. I get auto, but your home shouldn't have anything to do with it. Shop around.
I don't think the house went up that much at all, but it was the auto went way up. And I mean, I got a
Shop
perfect.
around.
I mean, I don't have any accidents, no nothing, no, tickets or anything. I mean, I got a good record. But they say as you get older, we're getting to be now in the class like the 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's what they told me.
Yep. Okay, well, it doesn't look like we have, there's no urgency to approve the water quality quote. So, should I approach AER again? And then I'll contact Flight and see what they have?
What else can we do? I mean, I don't think there's any people out there that do this type of work.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that because that just, we did a lot of concessions. We agreed that we didn't need to have 6 samplings during the summer. The 3 was good, and then we volunteered to provide a boat so they wouldn't have to haul the boat around, and now we're right back where we were a year ago.
Where we were.
I do feel that it's important that we do water quality testing next year because now it'll be the 2nd year after we've done a herbicide treatment. According to the water quality report, that report indicated they didn't feel that the herbicide treatment was impacting the water quality.
That's good.
I think it would be good just to have another check, but then, maybe we don't really need to be doing this every year, especially since we're not doing any herbicide treatments.
That's true.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I note, and all these costs will actually fall in the next budget year.
SWCA and also AER billed us every time they came out to do a sample. It wasn't a one-shot.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a one-shot billing.
So the water quality, we'll get one in May, and then the other 2 will be in
July,
September.
Right.
And the other ones will be, the other 2 items the muscle survey and the pulling will be probably next year as well. Or
No, because of the going to the pulling, because of that curly leaf pondweed that starts dying in May,
oh yeah,
they really got to come, before that's fully dead so that they can identify it. The
Right.
problem is the fanwort doesn't show up until late June.
right.
So I don't, I put that in the proposal, those 2 things so that, in case they wanted to come back and say they'd have to come out twice or whatever to make sure they got the weeds. Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm just looking here. I did reach out to the Connecticut Agricultural Experimental Station in our November meeting. I was asked to just make sure. I've reached out to them again, and they assured me that we're on their schedule to come and do the weed survey. And the cost for that is $4,000, which is, quite reasonable compared to what we paid SWCA, $12,000 or something last year to do the report. So, and it'll be a nice independent, they'll have the last time Connecticut Experimental Station was at Rogers Lake was in 2004. And so they'll have a nice baseline to look at what they saw back then and, what they see now. So that'll, I think that'll be a nice checks and balance here that we're doing what we should be doing. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is that Dick had requested that we maybe look at alternatives for the patrol boat and managing that and the launch ramp. And so Janelle, you had put together a job description. Do you want to go over that and let's get it?
Yep, I can go over it. So this is just a draft that I put together, and I called it a Rogers Lake Safety Supervisor because the purpose of our organization is to promote safety on the lake and make sure people are following the rules, but more importantly, safety. So this safety supervisor would be responsible for weekly scheduling of both the patrol boat operators and the boat launch operator or operators, training the operators. They would also be responsible for monitoring performance and provide coaching and guidance to ensure that they are doing what they need to do. The supervisor would also provide backup. So Dick, you know this too well, that if someone calls out sick, it's like, okay, now what? So either you do backup for them or you get someone to cover for them, unless there's a rule that they have to find someone to cover for them themselves. And then, I'm sorry, Dick, what?
No, you have to either find somebody or like I used to do it for them, that's all.
Yep. Yeah, because I've seen you out there several times. And then I was also thinking, in order for them to put themselves in the operator's shoes, if we're going to do the patrol boat on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my thought was that they would take one of those shifts on Tuesdays or Thursdays so that they're out there and people see them out there. They become a familiar face out there to the boat operators, the personal watercraft operators out there. So that's why I put there, 1 day a week. And then also provide reports. So how many safety violations were there over a given time? And I was thinking once a month this would happen. So safety violations, the number of incoming calls to the phone on the patrol boat, number of rescues or tows that they had to do, and then payroll expenditures that would help with maintaining and managing that budget to make sure that we're staying within the allotment that we have for the given budget year. And then for the actual patrol boat, what maintenance does it need? letting us know that there's certain maintenance that is needed when necessary, making sure that the boat has fuel so that the fuel can is loaded prior to the weekend because those are the busiest times. So those would be like the primary responsibilities. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything, but please do share. I have it open so I can take notes on this and update. In terms of the requirements, they would have to have a state of Connecticut boaters and personal watercraft license. They'd need to understand and know the rules of the lake, know CPR and basic first aid. So those three things right there are required of our boat operators. So the supervisors should have those requirements as well. And then they have to be professional at all times and have that image of confidence, that they have to have that presence that would deter violations. They can't come across as someone who is, a pushover. Oh, that's my buddy. I can do whatever I want. No, this is a job. It's a part-time seasonal job. And then always have that customer-friendly attitude of awareness and safety. Not so much in terms of you did a bad thing, but hey, are you aware that the rule is you have to go counterclockwise versus clockwise? I noticed and observed that you are doing this. We cannot have that on the lake because of X, Y, and Z. So I don't know if anyone had an opportunity to read it in advance of our meeting tonight. If anyone had any questions or comments, like I said, this is a total draft that I put together.
It covers pretty much all of it.
Did I do a good job, Dick?
Yes, you did. It covers pretty much all of it. The only other supervisor's gonna be responsible for is he's gotta do the hourlies and set the payroll into the town. That's a part of it too.
Okay, let me add, because I have,
Well,
Caleb,
let
let
me
me
ask
add that in there.
Dick,
Yes.
we've been running expenses through you and having you submit them.
Yep.
Would it be better if they submitted that to you, or you knew all the paperwork that's involved there? Is that something you want to get involved with?
I'm just trying to get the hours from the people, and it's Amy in town there. She's pretty pain in the ass. She wants them right away. So I mean, yeah, I can do it again. That's not a big deal, but
Well,
this
this
to me, I can't wait till the end of the week. I mean, I gotta have them like on a Monday, right after the weekend. Yeah.
well, it sounds like it's just adding another cog in the wheel that maybe we don't need. Because we get the weekly, the monthly summary.
What was that now?
Because we get a monthly summary of the expenses, or you get a copy of it or something. We need something.
I kept the record of how much, each week kept track of the hours because, we allot 30 hours for each. And I try to maintain that, make sure they stay right there a little under because holiday weekends you use more and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the way I would like to, I guess we need to have more of a weekly visual on what's going on out there as far as people submitting, so we'll say that they would submit weekly time cards or whatever to Dick. And if Dick wants to say, okay, look, you can submit them directly to the town, but you got to copy me or whatever, let Dick work that out.
So how about if I put in here, submit hours and payroll to applicable parties at town halls as well as RLA chairman?
Yeah, you could do that.
Just
once. I mean,
RLA.
No sense of sending it to me unless we could try and keep track of it. But I mean, so make sure that we're not going over the budget. That's the only thing. I tried to keep within hours so I keep track of the budget.
Let's just say submit it to the RLA.
All right, do
Don't
that.
put
Okay.
the chairman, but the submission will be to Dick. And if Dick feels he wants to change that, that's his prerogative.
Okay.
As long as they submit it to me like in an email, then I can just forward it on to the town,
But I don't want to get it. but
you got
the RLA, you know, I'm just saying to the RLA, then that allows us to delegate as needed.
Yep, I put to submit hours and payroll to applicable parties at town halls and RLA designee. Do you want me to remove town halls and just leave RLA designee?
Yeah, just leave RLA.
Okay.
And if Dick wants him to send it right to town hall, that'll be his call.
Okay,
Like I say, when they send it to me, I can just look at it and forward it on to them too. That's not a problem.
I think we need a little more
monitoring?
monitoring, yes.
Okay.
As a possible add, do we want the safety supervisor to develop a relationship with DEEP, specifically the Dakota Phils? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Fliss.
It just, he said it makes it easier for him because it takes him so much time to get a boat, come here and everything else. He loses time. I told him he could just call us
Yeah,
and come down and ride our boat and he doesn't have to do all that extra work. And he thought that was great.
okay. I can add that, Mark.
Just
Well,
to-
I'm throwing it out there as a suggestion, so.
Yeah, so I think it's a good suggestion because if we do have issues similar to what we had this past summer, particularly with the personal watercraft, then the safety supervisor would have a relationship with Dakota Fliss or his equivalent. And he can say what's going on, and then he can say, okay, I'll be at the lake at such and such a time or next week to do monitoring. Let's not give anyone a heads up and, element of surprise or whatever.
yeah, so I think maintain working relationship with DEEP. Keep it simple.
Got it.
And did I see that somebody asked if this was a paying position, and it is not a paying position, volunteer.
So I would like to make it a paying position.
Well, the budget's already in for this year and for next year. How are you gonna do it?
It just gets paid out of the budget.
Right.
We have, in our budget, we have the, we had a line item in here for the, somebody, what's their name?
Ranger?
The Ranger. And I don't see that Ranger line item in here.
Dennis, there's usually a second page to the budget.
Used to be his own line item, yeah.
Used to be a line item in there, and that's what I had in my mind that we would pay this out of.
I think the Ranger got zeroed out. There was $2,000 as for 1920. And then 2021, it got zeroed out.
Well, what about the RLA miscellaneous other for $3,000 that we have 88% left? Oh, it's actually 86%.
Are there plans for the other?
I have to go back through my notes, but I think maybe that is our catch basin that we put in there so that we would have money. In fact, now that we talk about it, because it used to be a $2,000 line item. Oh,
Because I would think that this individual would probably be and Dick, you keep me honest here. Not even 10 hours a week. So maybe $150 a week. Because scheduling is what, an hour. And then you got 2 hours on the lake during the week. That's 3 hours. And then ride-alongs once a month. So I'm thinking that over the course of the summer, this isn't even $2,000.
No, unless your time is when you work the boat, you get paid that anyway, so, you know.
Right. And I would say that the pay rate would be the same as a boat operator or the launch operator.
Yeah, they're both
And what is that? That's $15 an hour?
17.
18. Oh, 17?
Yeah.
So it's $170 a week times June, July, August, September, 4. Say 5 times 4 is 20.
Probably 15 weeks at the most.
Yeah, so that's,
That's 2,550.
all right, so $2,500.
Okay, I have, so it looks like we might have some money in there, but I have more that I want to talk about on this. We need a line item in here that they're responsible for recruiting and hiring patrol boat and launch operators.
So doesn't that happen with the town, or towns, I should say?
For what now?
Recruiting people.
I was told last year now the job has to be posted. I mean, you just can't, if you know somebody or take somebody that's done it before, or somebody that has worked for the town before, like I say, they could do it, but otherwise they told me from now on I had to post the job and get people that way. And I don't know how many people you're gonna get when you post them. You know, start posting, you gotta have a, you know, CPR certified, you have to have a license and all that. So I don't know how that'll work.
Well, but even so, this person has got to, review the resumes, they got to, you know, interview them and select them. So we need a line item in there for, however you want to word it. I said recruiting and hiring of those people, but whatever the terminology should be.
This is a supervisor. Should we pay them more than just the basic operators?
This is a volunteer position. Well, until we can find a good line item for budget on this, we're not going to be able to offer much.
To go along with Dick's thing, if we pay this person anything, we're gonna have to post it? Is that what he's saying?
Well, I don't know how you're gonna pick the supervisor here either. I mean, if it's gonna be one of the people on the board, you don't have to do that. But if you're going outside to try and find somebody, it's gotta be posted through the town, you know.
So we'll have to work with that. I thought another item in here, Janelle, or another category is like RLA responsibilities.
What do you mean by that?
For instance, we will provide uniforms for patrol boat and boat launch operators. And we would be responsible for dock space.
So how does that pertain to the supervisor job?
and the putting the patrol boat in, taking the patrol boat out, doing winterization, that is not part of this supervisor position.
Okay, you're saying not. Okay, all right, I got you now.
I'm trying to let this person know what's going on. That just because they have the patrol boat and whatnot, that's not part of their responsibility.
Everybody getting a lot of background noise?
I didn't hear you.
Is anybody getting a lot of background noise? I'm getting, I don't know.
Oh,
Now it's typing.
It might be me typing, Dick.
Oh, okay.
I did find dock space. Tom Mandelsi has a dock over here, and he could provide dock space and parking for patrol boat operators. And he was thinking $100 a month for dock space.
I think that's cheap.
So, but Dick doesn't want him parking in his parking lot.
Well, it's got to be a problem now too. That dock that I use has gotten so bad, I'm gonna have to get rid of it this year. It's not safe anymore.
Yeah. So, that was, and if that's the case, Janelle, the daily maintenance and fueling of the boat, I think that's if the boat is over here by me, I'll take that on.
You will?
Yeah, because who knows where this person might be that's gonna do this.
Yep.
And, it's a
Well,
pain.
what if you're on vacation?
I could
We just
twist,
make other arrangements?
I'll twist Dick's arm, or Mark goes by.
I'm close
frequently.
by. Dennis is a much better mechanic than I am, though. I can fuel a boat, but
So there's a couple of us that, that we can make happen, or,
All right, then I'm gonna take out ensure patrol boat has fuel and, I'm gonna take that out.
right. Okay, and Dick, we need to specify a time, calendar time. So is it like May 15th to September 15th?
Oh, when we actually start, we start Memorial. And we usually,
Okay,
Okay,
in May, but yeah, you could start earlier. It depends, depends how the weather is and what's going on too. And usually week after Labor Day and stuff, sometimes 2 weeks again, depends on the weather and stuff.
so it would be like the Friday of Memorial Day weekend through,
Week after Labor Day, usually.
through Labor Day weekend.
okay, I have that.
But that gives the person a better time frame of when they're, they would need to be doing anything. Anybody got other thoughts here?
Cause, I can resend this out and then you can take a look at it again to see if I'm forgetting anything, or you might think of something after the meeting.
It was very complete though, Janelle. Good job as always.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you get that out, then I can maybe send it to town and ask them to start posting it, see if we get any take.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dick.
thank you, Janelle.
Yeah, thank you, Janelle.
You're welcome.
That's good. Okay, so we'll go with the thought that we're going to pay this person out of that $3,000, and I'll just go back in my notes and make sure that that's what was earmarked. Again, finance has told us that we can move funds. They're looking at bottom line. They're not looking at line item expenditures. They're looking at the bottom line. As
Right.
long as we stay in that bottom line, they're happy. With 66% of our budget left, I think we're in good shape this year. I just got to make sure that what we do next year is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other new business? I think at our next meeting in February, we'll have all the quotes in and we can vote to get that activity going. But otherwise, I think we're in reasonable shape. Peter, do you have anything you want to add? Let's see.
Yeah, Dennis, Happy New Year, everybody. I just wanted to ask if the water quality report will be available online, or you could send it to me. I'm always interested in the water quality report.
I have posted everything up on the Old Lyme website. So if you go to the Old Lyme website, there's a tab for board and commissions, and you click, and then you'll find Rogers Lake Authority in there. When you click on that, our homepage opens, and you'll see a tab for reports. It's reports and something else.
Okay.
But I've had Michelle, everything's posted up there. I've sent it all to her, and it's all up there so everybody can see all the reports, the weed reports for 2015, 2018, and the water quality report.
Oh, have they always been up there? I used to check that website a lot. I never found anything new.
It only happened this week.
Okay.
I've been clearing off my desk. Trying to catch up here. As you can see from my emails, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't been doing that I finally getting around to it.
Okay. All right, great, thanks. The only other question I had was too, with the DEP officer riding along, I'm assuming they're only going to be able to enforce state voting laws and not the town ordinances.
That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that right now, our biggest problem is the just getting them to obey the deep voting laws. If we could get that far, I'd be thrilled.
Well, I think most of the voters probably wouldn't know the difference, anyway. They wouldn't know that they couldn't do that. So it'll have a positive effect having them out there.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Brought that up when Mark and I were speaking with Mary Jo Nozel, the select woman.
Yep.
We brought up the fact that we had tried to enforce our ordinances.
Yep.
And we were told that we couldn't do that. And she said, "Why not?" I said, "Well, Bonnie told us that she checked with a lawyer and said that we not to do that." Mary Jo, apparently there's been down at the shore, on Long Island Sound, those down there.
Yep.
They have had, they've had the rangers and whatnot, but things have really gotten out of control down there. and they've been allowed now to issue tickets. And so I brought up that we were told if we issue tickets, we have to be able to have people that want to contest them. And she said, that's easy to do. She said, you know, if you have a meeting every week or every month, you tell them at 7:15, you be, you know, instead of starting, we start at 7:30, 7:15, you come to the meeting between 7:15 and 7:30, we'll review you. And if you don't like it, you know, and when her response was, is what they have found from down there is that people will say they want to contest it, but they don't show up.
Right. Yep.
So I did not, we haven't pursued it anymore, but apparently there's a precedence that's been set up since then.
Well, that's good. Hopefully it can work with us then too.
So I, you know, right, Mark? Isn't that what you heard?
That's exactly what I heard. We talked a little bit about, you know, sort of reviewing our ordinances and possibly simplifying them, but yes, I was somewhat shocked, but she was basically saying, you know, why not? She
Well,
said,
I know.
process.
When I sent the ones back on over the horsepower thing and like that, Jim, I kept on him. Oh yeah, we'll do it. Then once I showed him the ordinance, I never heard from him again. That was it.
Because Dick, that's a big one, the horsepower, because we know, especially when people, you know, there's some on the lake, residents of the lake, but also when they're dropping it in at the boat launch, some of the vehicles or the personal watercraft are over the horsepower. So if we could enforce that, that would be a home run.
Oh yeah. Of course, a lot of people change it on their registration, which is a big fine with the state if you're caught doing it. So I mean, but you'll have fun proving that one. I mean, everybody you stop, I'll have to see them. Nobody seems to have over 135 horse, which we know they do. But I guess there are ways to figure it out too.
But that would allow more teeth for the launch operator.
Yes, absolutely. Mhm.
But so I thought that was a good positive outcome from our meeting with Mary Jo.
That absolutely is. So is that something that we're going to look at pursuing?
Yes, I think maybe at the next meeting, we need to look at all, just put out our ordinances. And we need to go through and review them as to what we want to prioritize there.
Yep.
I think the other thing, Dick, maybe you could provide some input from defenders is what is, I don't think you can buy a 135 horsepower motor anymore. I mean, before older boats, that was a standard horsepower, but
no, you can't. All the new boats now, the IOs, none of them. You can't get 130 anymore, 135. Nope. That's it.
What?
Oh, all bigger.
So the question is what's the next?
Well, we've mentioned about raising the horsepower limit. We got a definite no right there, right out.
I know. This is not a big lake. Why would we even want to consider raising the horsepower? It's not a big lake.
Like I said, all the new boats, all the new IOs that come out, they don't come out with 135. You can't get that in.
So then don't come here with your boat.
No, I agree. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Well, but we need to have something in the ordinance that reflects what is available out.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I could replace my boat right now. My boat has an inboard outboard. It's 135 horse.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I looked last summer and I could not replace that boat.
Nope.
So, because they don't make it.
No, that's it. They don't make them with that horsepower anymore. No,
So I don't
So
think.
Mark, you need to get a pontoon boat. You need to get a pontoon boat.
Well, even on those though, the horsepower, that's why I'm asking Dick is, what is all the manufacturers pretty much try to be able to compete with each other. Is it go from 90 horsepower to 160, or is there?
No, you can still get 115s and stuff like that. You can still get some of the outboards that way, but not the IOs.
Yeah.
They still make outboards like that under that, but you
I
don't
mean,
find any in the IOs.
The other issue to me is it's not a question, we're not trying to control horsepower, we're trying to control speed, right?
Well, that's
Well, the
one of
more
the things.
horsepower, you know they're gonna go faster. You know that.
That's not true.
No,
Sure it is.
That's how big your boat is.
I
Yeah.
don't agree. Yeah.
I mean,
some boats that you can get with a 135 will probably do 80.
I can have a 135 horsepower, a small boat, and it'll go 80 miles an hour on the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son has a boat on the lake, and he got it from a neighbor who was a little older. So it's a very small 1970 boat, 16 foot. It came with a 90 horsepower on it. I have a 19-foot boat with an IO on it with 220 horse, which is not in Rogers Lake, and it goes nowhere as fast.
Yeah.
It's that other little boat.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the little boat's not as safe either. Really, with the older steering.
Well, when we, Mark and I met with the deep fella, he said, enforce speed limit. And I believe I was on the Deep Connecticut Boater website. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Candlewood Lake. So you guys had asked me to get a hold of contact Candlewood Lake and ask about their patrol thing. So I did some more investigating, and the Candlewood Lake patrol people actually are under deep. It was, maybe Peter, you can help me with the terminology. It was deep something. I can't remember what the terminology was, but it was clear that they are policemen. They can enforce deep rules. They can enforce, and they report to deep. In fact, they have a captain and a co-captain for the patrol people. They have a couple of boats. It's a big time operation.
Yeah, that lake, obviously, in the news, it's had many fatalities on it. And I know just from my knowledge that they have two deep officers that are dedicated just to that lake. And I didn't know if maybe they operate some kind of a system where they have locals that they deputize somehow, but I'm not familiar with that.
But anyway, in reading that, there is a speed limit on Candlewood Lake. So I don't know, any more of these radar guns, or, all that stuff become pretty cheap. So, when we're looking at our ordinances, the thing might be to do that. I mean, that's what the deep officer recommended, is forget horsepower, enforce the speed, because that speed kills.
That's without
Speed limit on Candlewood Lake is 45 miles an hour.
Where is that?
The speed limit on Candlewood Lake is 45 miles an hour.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's what we got to look at. That's a whole new discussion on those ordinances, but we need to look at them now. And if we, then once we the RLA has figured out what we want to do, then we can go to the Board of Selectmen and say, look, we want to enforce these. We need ticketing, what's a ticket look like? How do we get tickets?
Yep.
And what do we need to do that? But I think that's, we got kind of a green light to go ahead with that.
That'd be good.
I think that's great.
Oh, sorry. The other thing that's not on the agenda is grants. With your boating, when you register your boat now every year, part of those funds go for grants for invasive weeds. And there are grants available now that you can apply for money. The issue is the grant's got to be in February 12th.
Oh, boy.
Steve Matson just sent me that the first of this year that apparently he got notified about these grants, and I checked on them and I went online. I guess two things that came to my mind were if we can get a firm quote for this weed pulling, we can apply for some reimbursement on that. The other thing I was thinking about was getting some reimbursement for the Connecticut Experimental Station weed survey. So, is this anything you think we want to pursue, or?
Do you know anything about the amounts of these grants?
It was a percentage of the cost. So if it's $10,000 to do whatever it is you want to do, my recollection was they would pay up to 25% of that.
Okay, so it's not like the one we got before.
No, it wasn't. It wouldn't be.
Yeah.
They wouldn't cover the full cost. They were very specific about, we're not going to pay for all this, but we're going to help with your funding.
I see. Okay.
So,
So how voluminous is the application, Dennis?
it's not too bad. I did the grant the last time,
Mm-hmm.
and the selectmen told me, "Oh, don't waste your time." But it's really the way you write the grant. You have to, if we want to get money, we got to show that it's not just for the lake and the people on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really show, we have the public boat launch on the lake, and you got to I really built up
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it was used by the state people. And I think that helped a lot based on the grant that I saw our selectmen submit, which made it like, you're just going to help our town. And I don't think that cuts it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I think we should do it, but I'm not sure if you should do it alone.
Yeah, you want to work with me a little on that, Tony?
I would. Right now, I have COVID right now, but yeah. But I come out of quarantine next Wednesday.
Oh.
But I mean, I could do it, through emails, etc.
Let me send you the link. I went on the Deep Link.
Okay.
They have a form on there that you fill out, and then I can send you my previous grant. And
Okay.
far as I'm concerned, you plagiarize like heck. And
Sure. Oh, absolutely. If it worked before, it could work again.
So I'm going to call the Connecticut Experimental Station and see if they won't send me something more formal about the cost to do that. And SWCA acted like they were going to get back to me within a couple of weeks with an update on their quote to do the weed pulling. And if we pick somebody else, it won't matter, but at least we know, are we talking $20,000 or are we talking $7,000? I mean, at least we'll get a little more better definition on that.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That would be great. So, you able to work at all, or Tony?
Yeah, I'm working from home. Yep, right here.
You don't have
How you feeling?
symptoms?
Excuse me, I don't have symptoms. No, I do have symptoms. I have a cough. I get tired about 2 p.m. So usually my work is pretty well done by 2 p.m. So around 3 or 4, I'll take a short nap. I took a nap for an hour before, dinner tonight.
Did you lose your taste and smell yet?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes.
still don't have mine back yet.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that. I mean, I have absolutely no desire to eat. I guess it's because I don't have the sense of taste or smell, but
Still
I
ate.
am worried. I am worried about it coming back at some point. I hope it does sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Rob has his back now at 95%. Mine's only at 60, 65% still.
How long did it take for Rob to get it back?
We were exposed on election day and we tested positive on the 9th of November.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Then the other thing, anybody have any other people that they'd like to recommend when
I don't know anybody other than you guys.
Yep.
Recommend for Bob's spot?
Yes.
Yes, I recommend Manisha, who's on the call today.
Hello.
Manisha, what do you think?
You're in Old Lyme, I take it?
I'm in Old Lyme. I live on Grassy Hill Road. Moved here about 2 years ago. So I live across the street from the lake, but I have access to the lake. So we have a dock. We have a boat out there. So yeah, love it here. And yeah, I'd love to be a part of the board.
Great.
Great.
So the way it works is that we don't select our people. We make recommendations.
Okay.
And so if you send me your email address,
Sure.
I will send you the Michelle that was on and helped get the this WebEx meeting going. She will send you a form. You fill that out.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I will. Old Lyme has been informed that Bob has resigned, but there'll be and they're now making the appointments for next year, and Bob was up for being reappointed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Selectmen meeting is next week. Monday, I guess. I don't know but anyway, I would make a recommendation that Bob is left and you would be a possible candidate, but it's up to them to select.
Dennis and Manisha, I just sent you both an email that has both of your emails on it so that you have that information now.
Thanks, Janelle. I appreciate that.
Okay, so I will send that to you, and I did kind of give Michelle a heads up that we thought we might have somebody interested, and she's the go-to person at town hall. You want something done?
Okay, perfect. No, that's great. I have a little bit of background in all of this, so it's interesting to me.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good.
Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
I'm curious, Manisha, what's your background in that?
So I moved to Connecticut 8 years ago, but before I moved here, I worked for county government in New Jersey, and I was an attorney who did a lot of open space acquisitions, and we managed a lake. So that's why I'm somewhat interested in it.
Oh,
Oh, great.
great.
You'll be
A
able to
little bit
help
of
us
background.
with.
It's been a while. I'll admit it's been a while, but we did a lot of work on the lake. So
Great. Well, it'll be helpful when we're looking at our ordinances and trying to put some rationale behind them.
yeah, absolutely.
Because when you look at them, you'll say, why is this in here? And that's exactly what Deep said.
That's okay. I've looked at many ordinances, so I'd be happy to do that.
Fabulous. Welcome aboard. Prematurely.
Only if I get picked. Only if I get picked.
You don't get to decide, Dennis.
Okay, I've tied everybody up long enough. Any other new business, or I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. I'm stopping recording.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
I hope you feel better.
Get
Yep.
your shot. Thank you.
Yeah, take care, Connie.
Bye.